And now Warren demonstrates Priceline.
This is demonstrating Priceline. I'll be demonstrating Priceline on my Pixel 5a running Android 12 and TalkBack 12.1. For speech services, I'll be using Eloquence. I am on my home screen now, and I'll navigate my way to the icon for Priceline. Priceline is one of the oldest services there, and I think Priceline was introduced back in 1997, if memory serves me right. I'll find the icon for Priceline and tap on it.
Priceline. Priceline. Allow Priceline to access this device's location while using the app button.
The first thing we have is about location. Of course, if I'm going to be traveling from my location where I'm located at and finding good prices, of course, I'll need to allow it to have access to it. For instance, now, though, I will only allow it while I'm using the app. In other words, if I am not using the app, if I have not launched the app, do not go about looking for my location. So I'm going to tap here, allow while I'm using the app.
Use current location. Priceline. App inbox.
I am now in the menu UI of the app, and I'm going to put my finger down so I could show you what we have in the menu UI. As always, I'll start from the very top left corner, and I'll put my finger down near the top left and see what we have starting from the top left corner of the phone.
Priceline.
It simply says Priceline. And I don't see anything below that. So I'm going to move to the right from the top left corner, moving my finger right. Now I've got
App inbox.
this app inbox. So it has its own inbox. In other words, if you have any messages about your trip or maybe some special services or whatever the case may be, or they have some special prices for you, it will be here in the inbox. To the right of that, we've got
More options button.
More options, and we'll come back to that later on and see what's there. But for now, let's proceed downwards and see what we have in the menu UI of the app. Moving my finger down now.
Current location. Edit box. Where are you going?
Current location, where am I going? And it's an edit box. So if I'm going to Florida or going to some other place now that we have so much snow, I wish I could go to Florida or some nice destination like that. Below that, let's keep going.
Use current location button selected.
Use current location, and it's selected because I told it to allow my location while I'm using the app so it knows where I'm at. And all that I need to do is type in where I'm going up there in the edit box.
Thursday, Jan 6th, edit box, check-in.
And next, we have the check-in. What time am I checking in? And of course, today I'm recording this on Thursday, and it automatically sees that today is Thursday. And then next,
Friday, Jan 7, edit box, checkout.
Checkout date is Friday. And
One room.
you could choose one room. I'm just moving my finger.
Deduct a room button disabled.
Deduct a room. In other words, if I had typed in more than one room and then I decided I want to remove one of the rooms, then I'll tap on deduct a room and it will take the number of rooms down. But since I haven't added any more rooms besides the one by default, that deduct a room is disabled.
Add room button.
Now the add room is active. If I wanted two
Media
rooms,
control.
I could tap on add room and it will add another room to the number of rooms.
Search hotels button.
And then there's a search hotels. Now move my finger down and here's what we find.
Become a Priceline VIP. Log in or sign up for free to unlock incredible deals and benefits. Sign up. Enlist.
So there we are again. They all have these perks. If you're a member, you want to sign in. So you'll be tracking your benefits and all of that.
Price was $139. Price is now $125. Hilton Garden Inn Yakima. Showing items.
I'm just moving my finger down. But let's go toward the bottom because I think there are tabs there at the bottom. By default, we're in the hotel mode. And I'm going to put my finger down near the bottom, starting from the bottom left.
Hotels. Tab. Selected. 1 of 4.
And of course, hotels, the one that's selected by default, and we're told that there are a total of 4 tabs. To the right of that, we have
Cars, tab, 2 of 4.
We have cars to the right of that,
Flights, tab, 3 of 4.
flights, and one more tab, and that will be,
Trips, tab, 4 of 4.
and that would be where you could track your trips and the upcoming trips and all of that. So that's what we have there at the bottom. So of course, it's going to follow the same approach. In other words, whether I tap on flights or on cars, it's going to ask where I'm traveling to, or where I would like to go and things like that, and show me what I have in those areas, or what flights I have here in my area and things like that. Let's go back now toward the top and tap on that More Options and see what we find on that More Options found near the top right corner of the phone.
More options. Pop-up window. Sign in and list.
Tapping on that More Options, we have the Sign In, and below that we've got the following.
Create account.
Create an account.
Notifications.
Notifications.
Text Priceline.
You could text them, actually. That's beautiful.
About Priceline.
About Priceline.
Best price guarantee.
Best price guaranteed.
Terms and conditions.
Terms and conditions.
Privacy policy. Frequently asked questions. App version.
And that's all that we have in that More Options. I'll now go back to the menu I.
Priceline. More options.
Before we bring this to a close, let's go ahead now and tap on flights, for example, see if anything different that we saw in hotels.
Price was $98. Flights, tab, 3 of 4, and list. Price was $90. Flights, tab, 3 of 4. Economy, selected. Google Play Store, update.
Tapping on flights, it is chosen by default economy. Of course, you don't want to fly economy. You could change to business or first class, whatever your money permits you to do. And I'm going to put my finger near the top now and see what we've got.
The Priceline recommends that you update to the latest version. You can keep using this app while downloading the update.
Okay.
No thanks, button.
So,
update.
Button.
Priceline. Flights, tab, selected, 3 of 4.
All right, put my finger down.
Round trip, radio button, selected, 1 of 2, and list, 2 items.
Putting my finger down, we have round trip, which is selected by default. And to the right of that,
one way, radio button, not selected.
We have 1 way. Now below the radio buttons, whether you're going round trip or 1 way, we've got
YKM Yakima, Washington, edit box, where from, out of list.
Below that is the name of the city that we would like to fly out of, and by default, since it has my location, the closest airport to me is Yakima, Washington. So that's where I'll be typing it. If you're in a different place, of course, it's going to say the name of the airport that's closest to you. And now to the right of that city that I'm going to be traveling from, we have the to city. In other words, the airport I want to fly to.
Where to, edit box.
That's the next one. Now, below that, we have the date.
Thursday, Jan 6, edit box, departing.
We have the date that one would like to depart on. And then to the right of that,
Friday, Jan 7, edit box, returning.
And the return date. I kind of like the layout of the app. Now, below all of that is
drop-down list, 1 passenger.
We have the number of passengers, and that's the first drop-down box. Now, to the right of that, we have
drop-down list, economy.
What kind of class you would like on that airplane, whether you want economy seating or you want something more luxurious. This is where you could tap to choose. Now, below all of those two, we have
non-stop flights, checkbox, not checked.
You could check that if that's what you want, but I realize that sometimes when you don't check this, you may get cheaper prices. Let's go down.
Search flights, button.
And there's a search flight. And that will be your short demo of the Priceline app.
One of the other things, just while we're on, we're going to go local in a minute, but while we're on flight apps, something, the use case for this will be fairly limited, but Warren was talking about being able to book a hotel room when your itineraries become a bit clearer and you're driving to the next town. If you know that you have a connecting flight that you're going to miss because, maybe your current flight is circling, as soon as it touches down, obviously you don't want to use your phone in situations you're not allowed to, but sometimes these apps will let you get the jump on, and not necessarily Priceline and Kayak, but whichever airline you're traveling with. These apps might let you get the jump on the people on your plane who are all going to go to the connections desk to try and sort out their connections. If you're smart, because it takes a while to deplane, once you've landed, you can potentially get the jump on them, effectively skip the queue by using one of these apps, fire it up and sort yourself out before 300 people pile into that connection desk or wherever everyone's going. So something else just to think about.